right. I'm completely glory fried. I went to this really good meeting. We just did like a really good soak, and it had like this really heavy, weighty glory. Like literally where you feel heavy. And then like I saw the glory cloud too. There was like this crazy haze in the room where the glory cloud just came down, and a lot of burning going on the inside. All good stuff. Didn't feel myself getting blitzed, and then realized that I was completely fried. And I'm still pretty fried. Oh, and then, you know what was crazy too is we freaking translated. Like, it takes at least 45 minutes to an hour to get to where we went. And I swear we got back home in 20 minutes tops. It was like, boop, like, next thing I knew, I was just freaking, we were back. And I swear, I think the Lord translated us, like, just that quick. I'm like, I don't know why, but it was, like, crazy, because I know the exact time we left to the time that we got home. And it was mad quick. But, anyways, that just blew me away, too. And on another note, you want to see my cool hoodie? It's not like I'm trying to promote, like, all my new clothes and stuff. It's not like I get a whole bunch of new clothes, just I find these... It's like heaven culture, and I keep finding like these heaven culture garments, and I've given a word before too, like where it's just people are being marked. People are being marked for the glory, being marked for who Jesus is calling out, like all those who wear the rainbow, and you know who that is. Okay. Sorry. And, like, you know, people that dye their hair or have piercings or creative, like, cool clothes like this. That's not something you used to see. Like, yeah, some of our stuff was artsy, but you can tell it's, like, drenched with heaven culture. So, anyways, this is pretty cool. It's got, like, a... Oh, this is gonna be awkward. It's got a cool buck with his deer. And then, like... He's got his antlers, but it turns into actually like tree branches. It's got like the Chinese blossom. What we got? A bird here. Apples on this side, and then grapes on this side. And look, I was just promoting my crows. Look, there's a crow right there. Son of a gun, man. But anyways, I just thought it was cool. Cute little Nepalese man caught my eye with it and persuaded me. And I was like, I can't give it up, because that's just it. Like, it catches people's eyes, and you can open up avenues of speaking to them, you know, through it. And plus, when you're doused in the glory anyways, it makes it more, like, glory-filled, I guess. Excuse me. Anyways, now I'm rambling. So, I don't know. Whew. I'm still trying to wind down. It's almost midnight. But I was just reflecting earlier about the importance of overcoming your fears. And it's funny because first-handedly, you know, and like, you know how the Lord will dismantle like strongholds in the mind. It amazes me that like the one of the biggest things, like we build up these strongholds. They're kind of like just implanted lies and perceptions that we base our opinions off of too. Like, you know, if you were to highlight something with politics, like something persuaded you enough to think on a certain platform or a certain party, and even within that, like our inalienable rights and things like that. But you know, like, society will deem, like, this is how you should think, blah, 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 blah. And then it gets implanted in there, and you're like, this is the way I think. But really, you didn't really think that way. And it was just, like, something that he has to uproot or dismantle, even, like, the fears that we face. And so he first-handedly had me, like, face something that I never, ever saw myself doing or was intrigued to do. And now it's something that involves like my whole job, you know? And so I'm being vague on it, but the very thing that you might oppose, the very thing you never even think that you would want to conquer or see yourself conquering or face it, overcome it, and then have it not even be an issue in your life anymore. And in a lot of ways, he'll just dismantle it. And he'll make you face those fears dead on until they don't affect you anymore. So in my head, like, I was like, never this and never that, and I ain't never going to do that, and I don't need to be associated with this. And then he's like, all right, you're going to go directly into that. You're going to do it. You're going to conquer it. And then the fear of it ain't even going to faze you. So something that, like, I had a real big struggle on to overcome, that I had a lot of fear in, totally dismantled. So now when I have to face it every few months, when I'm required to pass all my requirements with my job or whatever you want to call it, I'm not even shooken by it. I'm not even fearful by it, and I'm not even like worked up. You know, it's like, oh, this is easy as pie. You know, freaking boo boo, we're done. You know. And so it's incredible to me how he'll dismantle it in ways that you have to face the fears dead on until they don't have the power over you anymore. And so that's just what I wanted to throw out. It's just, I'm so grateful for that, because in a lot of ways he's dismantled a lot of fear, a lot of doubt, a lot of, I don't know, I guess judgments on certain things that, you know, people held to a standard, and I'm like, you don't need that, you know? And it's kind of tweaked it where I'm like, okay, you can have that if you want, but I don't care about it, you know, but I respect it, kind of thing. So, I don't know. I'm like, I'm so jacked up right now. I hope I'm making sense. But, so that's cool. And like, if he's having you go into something where you're like, oh, hell no, go towards it and overcome it. And it might take a little bit of a process to get there, but as soon as you do, that doesn't have power over you anymore. And that's the most freeing feeling you can ever freaking have. What the heck is that? Is to overcome your fears and come into greater liberty within that. So, word up, homies. Keep it real. Keep it true. Get some fishies. Go fishing. They're drawing in. They're so hungry. I need to be more intentional and focusing on that too. I used to go out and evangelize a lot. It used to be mostly Walmart. I'd be like blitzed after like church or something and go in there, and it was mostly actually just making conversation and communicating. And then I built a rapport, but like even within that, like Holy Spirit can speak out things in your common words where you don't even realize people are getting touched by it. I say something like every day and people are like, you know, they start getting stirred up or whatever. It can dismantle a lot of things, you know. Just your voice, because your voice carries power too. Alright, I better stop. I gotta wind down. Alright, thanks for listening.